hear it for the boys because they are back in town for finals week right now. School's out, maybe forever, as we're talking about the final episode of Season 2 of Gen V, titled Trojan. Here we go. Get it on. Make sure it fits because we're going to be talking about some big spoilers going down here. Now, basically, the thrust of this episode is now that we know that Godolkin is the big bad of the season. He's back. He's got his mind manipulation, his bodily control powers. He's going a little wild and trying to do a cull of the university, sort of.
Just a cull.
Yeah,
everyone's
just a little,
so upset. It's just a little cull.
It's just a little light cull, because what he's actually doing is trying to build up his own power so that he can control Marie, so that he can take down Homelander, because that's what everybody wants to do in this world all the time.
Oh, yeah.
When Homelander isn't on screen, everybody should be asking, where's Homelander? That's the main thrust of this show. Mm-hmm. But over the course of it, Marie and friends team up. They form the Guardians of Godolkin for real this time. They fight back. They beat Godolkin, and that leads to the end of the episode where they join the Resistance, or merge the Resistance, if you will, with Starlight and special guest star A-Train, who shows up at the end here.
Hey!
We get a bunch of resolution to a lot of stuff. Before we get into the specifics and lots of stuff to talk about with this episode, how'd you feel about the season? How'd you feel about the finale? What are your general takes going on here?
I was having such a great time through most of the season. This episode, I was a little disappointed. Like, I really thought they did such a great job of, like, giving us, like, you know, showing the butt guy around. And I was like, man, this butt guy keeps popping up. Great use of the Trojan butt in this. But for me, the letdown was all this
Chekhov's butthole.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, there was all this talk of Homelander, and he even called, and I was like, yeah, we're going to get a Homelander cameo. And they didn't do that. So I was that really was kind of a letdown.
Do you remember him? He's sort of blonde.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
No, you're thinking of Greg. That's Greg you're thinking of.
Greg Beef, as he's
I'm
pretty sure that's Homelander, right?
It could be. But, so I was a little disappointed in that. But also, it's kind of a little bit of a letdown that it's like, hey, this show you love, it's probably just going to be The Boys next season. I was like, oh, all right.
I agree. That's definitely the implication. I think you're leaving out a huge cameo, Black Noir. The Black Noir erasure here is shocking.
The "you can talk now" line was funny.
Well, did they play that same joke in The Boys?
They did, but I will say
funny.
It's a good
funny.
bit.
I like it. I want to hear it now. I want to hear it all the time. Like, because the fact that he can talk and he's very annoying is very funny.
That whole rant he was going.
His whole scene with Polarity, like breaking down nerd style of the movie that Polarity was in, and Sean Patrick Thomas's reaction being like, okay, was a great scene. Great scene.
Yeah, it was.
Justin, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah,
Do you have a contrary take here? Did you enjoy it, or are you on the same page as Pete?
JT says.
I am always on the same page as LePage himself, but in a slightly different way, I will say, I was really down on last week's episode. Mm-hmm. So this episode was more of an uptick there. I do think this show, it got a little, like, everything was so tight and focused in on the characters and the interesting nuances. And these last two episodes, this one, like I said, got a little bit better, but it was still a little bit like, yeah, you know, we've all got baggage. I was like, yes, we know that. And it didn't really advance the sort of, or elevate the ideas much beyond that. So I think that's normal. It felt a little bit like they had to do a lot of work to line this up with the boys. And in general, we're just like, we love the villains in this episode. So a lot of the action on our protagonists had to give way to Sage, Godolkin, and a lot of the stuff, the larger machinations that were coming together there.
I hear what you guys are saying. It sounds like maybe I'm going to be the most positive here because I really enjoyed this finale, and I was very impressed how they brought all the plot stuff together. I hear you about the emotional, thematic elements. There's still more, I think, to say about these characters. But just the way that it all came together with that battle, with everybody coming out of Black Hole's butt, and
Black hole
the main characters like providing support for Harper and Allie and Black Hole and everybody to take down Godolkin, and the reaction of like, oh my god, it worked, our plan actually worked, leading to Marie's line, which I'm not going to find immediately, where it was like, we beat us, all of us, even the useless ones. I'm paraphrasing there. Yeah. I was like, that's great. Like they really crushed that.
And that was my better takeaway. Like the idea that it's like, hey, everything isn't like survival of the fittest. It's actually like, let's all work together. And that scene I thought was so good. And the Ashley and Harper step up there, where they were actually the ones that took down Godolkin for at least enough time to save everyone, was awesome. Inspiring, but also very funny. Like them talking together and then everyone talking together. I was like, they're powerful, but like don't really know how to use their powers. I thought was just a perfect execution of that idea.
And the other thing that I really liked that I thought they brought together very nicely was the whole Andre of it all, which, like we were talking about, they have not forgotten about all season. And granted, he was skewered by Black Noir immediately afterwards. But the scene of Doug talking to Polarity in the car about Andre really? And that line there where, hold on, I wrote it down.
He was the greatest hero I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was fucking fearless. He risked everything for the sake of his friends. Your son is the greatest hero I've ever seen. I thought it was like a really beautiful way of bringing that home. I don't necessarily buy Polarity's turn at the end where he's like, no, I got to stay here for Andre. Not because I'm sad about Andre. I was like, I don't know. I think you just don't need to go to the boys is what's going on here. Like, that's...
Well, I mean, yeah, I think he definitely is like, I don't need to go on a road trip with teens. Like, I don't need to do this with my life. He has a house. So.
Yes. Yeah, the end of the episode to me was probably the weakest part, leading directly into like, really how much are these characters actually going to be in the boys? Because the implication here is like, they're all over it. They're main characters the next season. But there's already so much going on in The Boys season 5 at this point, not just with the main characters, but we know there's going to be extra characters and guest stars and a supernatural reunion and all these things that I'm like, they're going to show up just about as much as Sam and Kate did in season 4 probably, and that's it. So let's not go over the top here, you know?
Well, the only thing I would say is I bet they're going to be foot soldiers in the inevitable big battle that comes. So that's cool, I think.
Yeah, but we're obviously jumping to the end here, but like this is one of the big things is the setup of this season is like Marie is the only one who could take down Homelander. Came from the same project. Yep. She's the equal level of strength. She's the one who can stop him. I cannot see a world where that happens in the final season of The Boys, and the boys are like, you did it, Marie Moreau. You took down Homelander for us. Like, maybe she's going to be key to it in some way, but that's nothing against her, but that's satisfying for Gen V. It's not satisfying for the boys of the show we've been watching. We want Butcher and Homelander to take each other down in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, I mean, that's also, I think that, like, the way it ended made it seem like, all right, when The Boys starts up, it is going to be Marie versus Homelander. And I'm just like, how's that going to work? Because it's like, I have loved this show this whole time, and now you're just going to be like, you guys are going to be background and The Boys. Congratulations. And it was like, I didn't sign up for this.
And I will mention, just to like get ahead of this part of the discussion, Eric Kripke, who is the overseer of the universe, has said as long as the ratings are good, they do have a plan for the next season of Gen V that they want to execute on, that it will be an entirely new Brave New World after the end of The Boys, but it's not the end of the entire world. It's just a entirely new status quo for Soups and how things work.
Okay, and a new cast for Gen V next season. All right, well, that's exciting that Gen V's not going away.
Not a new cast for Gen V, but I think, like, that is interesting. They're definitely setting up, like, well, this is it. We're headed towards the end game for the universe. But I do think it's more interesting that, like, they hit that end game of The Boys, and that it's a fresh new world with new rules that they have to go back for junior year. That's cool. I hope we get to see that.
I agree. That is cool. But I will say, in the Marie of it all, like, she is very powerful, but as we saw, like, you can take down Godolkin and he has the same, juice, the same V1 stuff in his body. So I feel like she's just as likely as Godolkin was to win against Homelander. It's just she's in that power level. It's like an Omega level mutant thing.
To get back to the show, though, and talk about that, I do want to continue to harp on Godolkin is not as scary as Cypher. I mean, he's fine, but they had such a great villain for 7, 8 tenths of the, whatever it was, like...
Ooh, a little math.
Yeah, a little math, yeah.
6/8 of the season. There we go. Something like that. Nice. He was so good
which if you reduce that, Alex, it's actually 3/4.
Yes, Godolkin doesn't hit the same way, and I was a little disappointed because we got this great cliffhanger in the next episode of him being like, I'm going to destroy the campus, and wandering off into the quad there. Then the fact that they took it insular in the danger room and just had the fight in there, it felt like a little bit of a letdown, particularly because we just had anarchy on the campus at the end of the first season. That was big, that was wild, that was epic. There was huge things going down everywhere. This one felt smaller and more insular to me.
Also, it left off with like, oh man, everyone's going to die. And he's just walking around the campus. I'm like, oh, who's he going to turn to and start murdering? And he's like, oh no, I'm just going to stroll through the campus.
No, I got to go get laid. He's got to go hook up.
Yeah, and I was really surprised how Sage was kind of the secret mastermind throughout the whole kind of season here.
Well, before we get to that, like 2 things. Alex, I think you're really struggling with sophomore math, and we're going to have to talk about it. But 2, I liked the danger room aspect of it. Maybe because this season felt very, I thought that was cool, but this season felt very X-Men. Across the board, with just like the ideas, the danger room being a major thing here, the like class of mutant powers, and the way that becoming very informative to how everyone works. So the fact that it was contained there worked for me. Also, like, I think it helped us focus in on the Trojan butthole and the themes of, even the weirdos can be powerful if everyone works together. That I think that would have been harder to achieve if they were just having a melee out on the quad over the course of it.
Yeah, but that was fun in college. Remember we had class outside? I mean, come on.
How many times did that happen? I had one class outside. They put in the brochure like it's going to be every day, but I'll tell you what.
They sure did.
It's goddamn snowy where I went to college, and you don't get out a lot. So that's fine, but you're lying to us.
No, I mean, I hear you. I'm just saying, by comparison to the first season, I was expecting something epic and destructive. I get why they did this, and I do think it worked for the episode as is. It was just not what I expected.
Also, Alex, can you go on the record? How many classes did you take outside?
Not many. I honestly don't remember.
Wow.
Yeah. We definitely we met with my sketch comedy group outside when it was nice. Like
that doesn't
that's not educational.
Class. That's
no wonder you're not good at math. You don't even know what the fuck you're learning about. You don't even go to class.
Cornell is a sham. Cornell is a sham.
We would sit between all 3 sides of the quad. That's exactly what we did.
Nope. Alex, no. A quad has 4. A quad is 4.
Not right to me, but all right.
Oh, my gosh. Well, anyway, so yeah, starts with a flashback. 1967.
I gotta say, I love when Pete's like, let's start with the beginning, 15 minutes into a podcast. Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah. So I was kind of like, I wanted us to pick up right where we left off, and we did get there after a flashback a little bit. But I liked how also we got to this thing where like Marie, the dad was just like, hey, Marie, fix this person. Hey, fix this person. And, this thing of like, she doesn't have unlimited, fixes.
Does she? I don't know. The way
she certainly fixed Kate real fast.
Yeah, she was like, did. I can't fix you, Doug. And then 5 seconds later, she's like,
it wasn't 5 seconds later. Like,
it was pretty quick after that.
And then after she fixed Kate, she was like, what else we got on the tap today? I was like, I thought you'd be tired. Doesn't this make you tired?
Also, while we're talking about the fixing Kate thing, that was a really great moment. And I thought Maddie Phillips did a great job of just like her teary thank you to Marie while it was happening. But I was a little surprised and bummed they didn't also grow her arm back. I thought they were going to do that as well versus just fix her head. I guess it's okay, but again, just not what I expected in the
situation. Seriously, after somebody's going to fix your powers, you got to be like, hey, can you...
Hello, what about
arm?
What are we doing with the arm? Also, my hair's a little, the split ends. Can you bring it together?
Yeah. Give me a nice trim. Give me some bags.
No, bangs.
Well, the thing is, can she just make a new limb? I feel like...
I don't know.
Like
she repaired Godolkin's skin, so it's definitely like more than just blood powers. It's also healing powers and resurrection powers. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's a white blood cell thing.
Oh wow!
What?
Really,
I hope
really taking a swing on
I really hope
science
they explain
here.
that. They got to explain that in The Boys season 5. It's important.
Let's get a deep dive. Well, actually, Butcher will say it's a white blood cell thing, probably.
Ooh, wait, let me throw something out at you. What if she heals Butcher? What if she doesn't take down Homelander but heals Butcher? That's her role. That
Yeah, because Butcher's pretty much dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He has his
dead man
cancer
walking.
octopus in his...
That would be cool. We certainly have set up a major healing situation. Well, talking about the beginning, I felt like this opening was sort of unnecessary. It was a nice bookend to what happened, but like I was like, oh, the guy who was burned got burned. Got it. So like,
we're all wondering how it happened. You know what I mean? Even though we saw it all before.
Not to keep talking about external things, but Eric Kripke has given a bunch of interviews after episode 7, and they didn't think people were going to figure this out. Like, maybe he was play acting a little bit. That's always possible. He's a very funny guy, but definitely in the interviews, he was talking about like, yeah, it's really frustrating when you have this secret that you think is so good and people figure out in advance. So perhaps the function of that seed was they thought people would be like, oh shit, at the end of the last episode, not realize how Godolkin got this powers, and then they needed to explain it a little bit with that scene. That's just me intuiting there, but like you said, we figured it out weeks ago.
We haven't cracked it. Did he mention how smart we are?
Yeah, he did very specifically.
Oh, weird.
He was like,
he
shouts
all of
to
our
the
IQs.
Let's Hear It for the Boys podcast.
I know
homework, Alex.
I do, Alex. I do agree with you that like it's a different vibe switching villains like second to last episode. But it was fun to see him just like eat and kind of be like, oh my god, life is crazy and so enjoyable. And there was a little bit of hope there of like maybe he's not going to be this psycho, And I thought that they could have played with that a little bit more, but.
That's certainly what Sage thought. And I thought her role in this, pretty big role. And I guess that's another cameo from The Boys, by the way, in here, major cameo. But like, so her goal here is that she wasn't like in love with Thomas Godolkin, right?
I think she
Tommy
was.
G.
Really?
Yeah,
no,
I think
she's using him.
No. Here's what I took. Well, feel free to disagree, obviously. But like what I took away from it is she legitimately respects him on an intellectual level, finds him to be probably one of the only people that is her intellectual equal, does like him. She invites him to move in with her in like this very cute way. And he immediately disappoints her like everybody else. She talked about that a lot in the last season of The Boys, about how everybody lets her down all the time. And that's exactly the arc that we see for her over the course of this episode, going from like, this is great, you're going to move in, we'll like slow play with Homelander, move into phase 2, whatever that is, we'll find out in the next season of The Boys. And then he's like, nope, got to do this one very stupid thing first. And he's selfish. He's focused on himself versus what she was setting up for him and giving him this new life. And you could see she, in that scene with Polarity, is like, shuts down. She goes back to her neutral self at the end there, leaves the door open for him, and allows Polarity to deliver, not the killing blow, but allow the killing blow to happen with Godolkin.
Well, yeah, I mean, if she loved him, as soon as he makes one mistake, she's like, well, you're dead.
You're dead, yeah.
That's like, she releases Polarity to facilitate his defeat.
I mean, maybe there's a bit of self-preservation there too, right? Because she's turning down calls from Homelander, and she knows that if that happens, it's going to blow back on her. So she takes care of the problem.
Here's why I hated that turn down the phone call, because it made it seem like they're like, Homelander's a big bad, Homelander's bad. And then he calls, and then she's like, ignore, and that's all we hear from him. I was like, if this guy's so bad, he wouldn't have just been like, I'll wait a couple hours, then I'll try her again.
I think I agree with you, Pete. And I agree with you also because in my head, when that was happening, I was trying to picture Homelander being like, beep, boop, 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 boop. Bring, bring. Like it is standing there listening, and I'm like, that's not happening. He's just gonna fly over.
He's gonna fly over, and that's why I thought, like, he's showing up any second. He's gonna be here, and it never happened.
I think two things. I'm sure there was a logistics thing of having another cameo from The Boys. A, B. the point of him calling wasn't to be like, he's the big bad, he's going to show up. It was to push Sage and threaten Sage in that moment. So I don't think he had to show up for what was needed in the scene. But I don't know, on the Sage thing, like, you're saying she loved him and then betrayed him for her own sake, her own life.
I just think because she was disappointed in him.
But I think she was disappointed because she was like, I've got this plan that's coming together. I got my puppeteer. We're going to go there, and we're going to find a way to crack into Homelander and do that. And she's like, oh, you've made a mistake, and now this is all over with, and I'm going to literally scorched earth this situation so it doesn't come back to me at all.
I think she liked him. I think she liked him. And yeah. I think she was awful sweet on him.
Wow. Well, okay. I mean, he's good for a meal, obviously. He likes to sort of go off menu. He's comfortable wiping his mouth with a lobster on a cardboard box in the bed. Very cool. Cool. I mean, also, she was just getting with Doug, and now she switched over to a whole other...
No, but it was
Doug
because she was attracted to Thomas Godolkin's mind. That's what was going on there. That's the main thing for her.
Bro, it's not the whole thing.
She's a mind fucker. She's a mind fucker. That's what she is.
What is happening?
Wow.
Intelligence is the brain is the sexiest organ.
Nice. Wow.
Keep telling yourself
didn't
that.
Quite sell that one through, Alex, let me say. You didn't quite. And as you go back to sort of slowly getting turned on by the math problems that I've assigned you, let me know if that still holds true.
Yeah, hubba, 7 plus 7. Can't wait to figure that one out.
Wow. You have really. Have you been shoving a rod through your eye into your brain, destroying parts of it?
Yeah, is that bad?
Only temporarily.
Is bad?
Unless.
So anyways, back to the class and the danger room of it all. I think that it was a funny moment for me where it was like, next group. And I was like, it seems like if I was in the next room and then saw like people not coming out and then bloody messes on the floor, I don't know if I would be like, oh, I can't wait for this class. Let me show up.
Is it a little bit of a bummer that Godolkin didn't actually kill them? Like just sort of maimed them a little bit? Because it felt
some
like
died, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
a bunch died, and then he was bunches dancing. Puppets.
Can he puppet dead bodies? I don't think so, but I guess I don't know.
No, I think because he controls consciousness. So
yeah, one thing that I do think is interesting, we're now, not to keep giving time, about 23 minutes into this podcast, we haven't talked about most of the other main characters on the show, and I think that is pointed in terms of a lot of them kind of getting lost in the mix of all the cameos, all the plot, everything going on. But the biggest one, and I know I've been drumming on this all season, Sam.
Sam versus Beef?
Sure, but Beef turned out to be like a nice guy, and Sam didn't really do much except get Rufus out of there at the end of the day, and at the end, Emma chose herself, as I correctly predicted, Jenny Garth style last episode.
Here's the thing with that, though. She's with Sam. She ditched Beef with a kiss. But, I think there's more triangle.
It's Emma Sam.
Delusional one now.
It's Emma Sam. It's Emma Sam. What are you talking about? She kissed Beef goodbye. She was like, Beef. Oh, bye, Beef. Some fun. Yeah, she was like, peace, Beef. Love you. That was cool. Thanks for all the help.
But
I'm a Bye, Beef. I'm a Samitarian now.
Sam doesn't do anything. He didn't do anything in this episode.
He was a Looney Tune for a lot of his life. He let him come back to normal for a little.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got to die. They got to kill him in the last season of The Boys.
I thought there was going to be more death.
Sam and Emma had a nice, time where they tried to go and save the day, and then they got roofied and dick-faced. That's a fun adventure they went on together.
That was fun. And they brought Black Hole in, so that was nice as well. I think Emma overall got to do a lot more in this episode than Sam did, giving her goodbye to Beef, but also the fact that she was the one who rallied the resistance on campus into actually doing something. Yeah. That's kind of a neat arc, and I think that's very present in our current society in terms of like little actions can lead to bigger actions. So I like seeing that as well. And also
she got huge and kicked butt, and then her secret squad saved the day.
Yeah, it was sweet. And then also the last line she had, we kind of already had a resistance, but yeah, no, some sort of merger was pretty funny as well. So solid episode for her. We're forgetting to talk about Jordan in this episode.
Jordan, the breakup between Jordan and Maria, I was like, what? This seems like neither of them want or are believably selling this. So that felt a little soft to me. My favorite part for Jordan was switching from female to male when they're like, I got to go to the bathroom. I thought that was very funny.
Male Jordan's reaction being like, was...
Wouldn't you? It was like, come on, guys.
Come on.
And I'm like, truth.
But yes, there needed to be a little more Jordan in there, which was a bit of a bummer. But it was, I think part of that was, like we were saying earlier, it's having the main cast step back to let the also run step forward and actually save the day, which is part of the whole theme. Polarity's entrance was very cool towards the end there, taking control of Godolkin.
The other thing I liked with Polarity was Sage's line, "You were stronger when you were weaker." I thought that was really cool. Nice idea, smart idea to put into him and make him...
Well, and it also ties into what she's talking about with Godolkin, is she thought he was stronger when he was in the hyperbaric chamber. Now that he's fully formed, she doesn't like him as much.
Yeah,
but she's still sweet on it.
Yes, because of that brain. She loves that brain.
Anything else from the episode that you guys want to call out?
A couple of things. Oh, go ahead.
I thought it was fun to see the Starlight show up and A-Train show up and back Noir show up and Sage and that kind of stuff. So it was just like, it was tough because I was worried about the show that I loved and excited that I was like, oh great, the boys are here. Oh man, this show is going to transition the boys. But what happens to Gen V? You know what I mean? Like I couldn't really enjoy it all because I was a little worried about the thing that I loved. Yeah. So. That was it was exciting, but also it got me worried.
I find the Starlight cameos to be, like, I haven't really enjoyed her there. She seems a little strange, like, almost distracted in the way. Like, honestly, A-Train showing up was cool and was sort of the inspiring moment there. But I don't know if it's the writing or the performance, but she just seems like, hey, oh yeah, you guys like Revolution? I do too. You want to go to get some food? Or?
I will say, not to talk too much about external stuff, I don't know when they filmed her scenes. This is old news, but I literally found this out yesterday. Apparently, the actress Erin Moriarty has been dealing with Graves' disease, and she got treatment for it and is doing immediately much better, but apparently she was feeling sick and ill through most of the last season of The Boys while they were filming it, didn't know why, got a consultation, and then immediately started to get the treatment and felt 1 million times better. So might be part of that as well. Yeah. I don't want to point to that, but clearly she is dealing with some stuff and getting better for it. And she has been open about it because she wants to let other people know, like, hey, if she specifically said something like, hey, if you feel like crap, look into it. Don't just be like, oh man, I feel like crap.
Good advice.
Nothing to do with it. So there you go. The bigger thing for me, though, was it was funny to have Starlight show up and everybody would be like, oh man, Starlight. And then A-Train shows up and they're like, A-Train. And I was like, I mean, that feels like the same level.
Well, definitely. And
do you want them to be excited for one more than the other, or what's your criticism there?
My criticism here is that I was like, yeah, all right, A-Train is also here. This is part of the world. It's not like the most shocking thing to happen. We've had multiple cameos in this episode.
Did you want them to not be excited for Starlight and be excited for A-Train, or what are you saying here?
All I'm saying is I like them being like, whoa, Starlight, because that's how she's positioned in this world as a true hero. Sure. But as a viewer of the show, seeing
you want them to boo A-Train. Oh, you fucking sell out. Fuck you. You're a villain.
And isn't he sort of still a villain to most people in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
So I feel it was weird. They were like, sick. If I were there, I would expect to be like, oh no, he's going to kill us.
Yeah, he's going to run right through me.
It's mostly, I'm just saying, as a viewer of the show, it didn't feel like a step up, though they gave it like the pump up with the music, and he got the final speech of the season and everything, and I was like, all right, that's fine.
That's really funny, the idea that you were like, I think just modulate your reaction to him, just because he. But in general, when one person comes out, we're like, yeah, and then another person, we're like, more, because otherwise it's very awkward if you're like, oh, you're also here.
But I think it would have been funny if it was like, yeah, Starlight, and then H.A. shows up and people are like, oh, fuck. Are we in trouble? And then he's got to be like, no, it's okay. I mean, that could have been funny.
I'm with the revolution.
It was like the last minute of the episode, so I'm not too upset about it or anything like that.
I honestly maybe I'm a sucker for it, but even the like A-Train's little speech, the cheesy pump up music, I was like, hell yeah, I'm here for this. It worked on me.
It did.
Maybe I'm a sucker. I wanted to say I liked when Beef and Sam punched the dude at the same time to save Emma. That was nice. Really, keeping the love triangle equal.
Maybe Beef and Sam are a good team. You know?
Yeah, the Beef team.
Can't spell sandwich without Sam. And beef goes on a sandwich.
I think your English is suffering a little bit here, too, because that's not how you spell that. Alex, you got to get away from your sketch comedy friends, because you know what they sound like to me? Drugs. They sound like drugs.
I mean, to quote Emma in the episode, that Sam, Beef, and Emma, it's pretty close to a threesome, so there you go.
It is very close. Just keep playing your cards. What do you think's going to happen with Polarity? He's like basically like, I'm not coming to be in The Boys.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah.
I think that was the last we saw of him.
Well, I think until a potential Gen V season 3. Are we segueing into more specifically talking about the future, even though we've been talking about it all along?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be in The Boys season 5, but if they come back, it'll be like, whew, what a crazy series of events. It was hard here at Godolkin, too, when everybody attacked. Anyway, we're rebuilding now, and welcome to junior year.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
He's probably the new dean, right? Like maybe he'll be the new dean.
Yeah, though I don't know who's in charge, but they're usually bad guys, and I feel like everybody knows that Polarity is on the opposite side of that. I really predicted that Kate was going to go bad again, and she did not.
She did not. How do you feel about that? I mean, I felt good about it because I didn't want her to go back.
I'm so mad.
You wanted Kate bad.
Steamed.
I'm steamed. I'm a steamed ham. No, I think it's all right. I just thought there was going to be another twist there.
Yeah, I think this was redemption arc season for Kate was basically what was going on there, mostly to get her back in with everybody so that they can be the Guardians of Godolkin, this team that is going to support the boys in the final season in the Resistance. I think that's all that was going on there. So I hear you, but it made sense to me.
And the other thing, I thought we were going to get another character death, and really we only lost Doug.
Yeah, poor Doug.
Yeah.
Sad.
No. But overall, that is it for this season of Gen V. Before we wrap up here, why don't we talk about who was best boy in the season? Ooh. If you want to do episode 2, you could do episode, but let's do season. Who was best boy? Pete?
I would say Emma for the season. Great to see her kind of come into her own. And, she had some great kind of talks about her powers and about her struggle, especially this episode where she kind of revealed, like, she still is struggling with it, So I thought that was really cool. I think she had a great arc. And, I was super impressed with Emma.
I'm going to go with sort of a alt take here and say that the best boy of the season was Andre. Like, I've never seen a show effectively do something that they did this season, and it really worked, I thought. It gave the whole show just an emotional base and, like, these moments of pop that really... They handled it very carefully, but they didn't shy away from it. Yeah. So I think Andre's role in the season as a character that is, it's Marie's last line after she beats Thomas Godolkin is like, that's for Andre. We get the Polarity moment in the car with Doug. So like, I think Andre's presence was really felt, and I thought very well played throughout the course of the season.
Nice, dude.
Great answers from both of you. I'm a little torn because there's a lot of stuff that I liked. I thought Marie was great in this season. Really enjoyed that.
You're going Black Hole, aren't you?
What? Black hole? Black hole son. That's I'm the son of a black hole.
I really loved the Homelander phone call. Maybe you could go with that.
No, I'm going to go with Cypher. I thought Hey was great.
I could have predicted that at the beginning of the season.
I don't know if you
that.
guys know this, but I love the character Cypher from the X-Men comic books. And so them having the same name, it was just such a no-brainer.
I called it.
Pete did call it. You love Cypher.
Yeah,
I actually love Hamish Linklater. He is fantastic and absolutely...
AKA Cypher.
AKA Cypher. So I thought he was a great villain this season, one of the best in the franchise so far, and it was a pleasure watching him. And folks, that is it for the podcast. We'll be back here for the final season of The Boys, as well as Vought Rising. We haven't talked about that. It was the prequel series with Soldier Boy, Stormfront, and a couple of other characters showing up. And of course, if there is a Gen V season 3 as well, fingers crossed.
Let's hope so.
We'll be back with that. In the meantime, we have plenty more podcasts you can check out. Patreon.com/comicbookclub to support this one and all the shows we do. Comicbookclublive.com for this podcast and many more. Until next time, those boys, let's hear it for them.
Yeah, see you guys on the quad, or however many edges it has, right, Alex?
Yeah.
2, 5? I'm honestly not sure.
Keep guessing. That's how math works.